If you are over the age of 60 and you stretch, you're noticing more hair in the shower drain, more hair on your pillow, or your scalp becoming more visible each year, you are not alone. And today I want to share something very simple, something natural, something you can add to your breakfast starting tomorrow morning that may help slow hair loss, strengthen weak strands, and nourish hair from the inside out. No expensive treatments, no harsh chemicals, just real food, used the right way. When people reach their 60s and beyond, hair loss often feels sudden and discouraging. Many believe it is simply a normal part of aging, something that cannot be changed or influenced. But the truth is far more hopeful. Hair loss after 60 is rarely caused by age alone. In most cases, it is the result of what the body is no longer receiving in sufficient amounts. The body does not stop needing nourishment as we grow older. In fact, it needs it more strategically. Hair follicles are living, active structures, and like every other tissue in the body, they depend on a steady supply of nutrients and oxygen to survive and function properly. As we age, several quiet changes take place inside the body. One of the most important is a decline in digestion and absorption. Many older adults eat enough food but do not absorb nutrients efficiently. Stomach acid decreases, digestive enzymes slow down, and the gut lining becomes less effective at pulling vitamins and minerals into the bloodstream. This means that even a normal diet may not deliver enough protein, iron, zinc, B vitamins, or amino acids to the scalp. Hair follicles, which are not essential for survival, are often the first to suffer when nutrients are scarce. Another major factor is protein intake. Hair is made primarily of keratin, a structural protein that requires a consistent supply of amino acids. After 60, many people eat less protein in the morning or skip breakfast altogether. Others rely on refined carbohydrates that provide energy but no building blocks. Without adequate protein, the body goes into conservation mode. It redirects amino acids to vital organs such as the heart, liver, and brain. Hair follicles are placed on the back burner. Over time, strands become thinner, growth slows, and shedding increases. Circulation also plays a critical role. With aging, blood flow naturally decreases, especially to smaller vessels such as those feeding the scalp. Reduced circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching the follicles. When follicles are underoxygenated, they shrink. This process, known as follicular miniaturization, causes hair to become finer and weaker before eventually stopping growth altogether. Poor circulation is often worsened by dehydration, inactivity, and inflammation, common issues in older adults. Inflammation itself is another hidden contributor. Low-grade chronic inflammation increases with age and interferes with the hair growth cycle. Inflammatory chemicals can push hair follicles out of the growth phase and into the shedding phase prematurely. This is why stress, poor diet, blood sugar spikes, and gut problems can all show up first as hair thinning. Hair loss becomes a signal, not the problem itself. Hormonal shifts after 60 further complicate the picture. In women, declining estrogen affects collagen production and scalp hydration, making hair more fragile. In men, follicles often become more sensitive to DHT, a hormone that restricts blood flow to the scalp. But even here, nutrition plays a decisive role. A well-nourished follicle is far more resilient and less reactive to hormonal changes. A starving follicle is vulnerable. One of the most misunderstood aspects of hair loss is that it happens slowly, then suddenly becomes noticeable. Hair follicles can remain in a weakened state for years before visible thinning appears. By the time hair loss is obvious, the problem has often been developing quietly through years of nutritional gaps, digestive decline, and reduced circulation. This is why quick fixes and topical products often fail. They treat the symptom, not the cause. It is also important to understand that the body prioritizes survival over appearance. When nutrients are limited, the body makes intelligent choices. Hair growth is considered non-essential. That does not mean it is unimportant, but it does mean that hair will always be sacrificed first when resources are low. This is not a flaw in the body, it is a survival mechanism. The encouraging news is that when nutrient availability improves, the body is capable of reversing this process. Many people over 60 are unknowingly undernourished despite eating regularly. Processed foods, low appetite, medication side effects, and fear of weight gain all contribute to inadequate intake of critical nutrients. Calcium, zinc, iron, vitamin D, and B vitamins commonly fall below optimal levels. Each of these plays a direct role in hair follicle health, cell division, and oxygen delivery. When multiple deficiencies exist at the same time, hair loss accelerates. The scalp itself also changes with age. It becomes thinner, drier, and less elastic. This affects how well follicles anchor hair shafts. Proper nutrition helps maintain the integrity of the skin and connective tissue that support each follicle. Without it, hair becomes more likely to shed and less likely to regrow. The key point to remember is this: hair loss after 60 is often a message from the body. It is a sign that something is missing, not that something is permanently broken. When the body receives consistent, high-quality nourishment, especially early in the day, it can redirect resources back to hair production. Follicles that have not been completely shut down can often be revived. This is why addressing nutrition, absorption, and circulation is far more powerful than chasing the latest hair product. Hair responds from the inside out. When the internal environment improves, the scalp improves. When the scalp improves, hair has the opportunity to grow stronger, thicker, and healthier. Aging does not mean decline is inevitable. It means the strategy must change. Supporting hair after 60 is about working with the body's priorities, not fighting them. Feed the follicles, improve circulation, reduce inflammation, and the body will often do the rest quietly, naturally, and over time. When it comes to hair health after the age of 60, one of the most overlooked factors is the quality and availability of protein. Hair is not a passive structure. It is constantly growing, repairing, and renewing itself. And this process depends almost entirely on the nutrients circulating in the bloodstream. Among these nutrients, protein and B vitamins, especially biotin, play a central role. Without them, even the healthiest scalp cannot produce strong hair. This is where plain Greek yogurt becomes uniquely valuable. Hair strands are composed primarily of keratin, a tough structural protein. To make keratin, the body must have access to a steady supply of essential amino acids. As we age, our ability to digest and absorb protein decreases. Chewing becomes less efficient. Stomach acid declines and enzyme production slows. Many older adults eat protein, but the body cannot fully break it down or absorb it efficiently. Greek yogurt solves this problem in a gentle, natural way because it is fermented. Much of the protein is already partially broken down, making it easier to digest and absorb even for sensitive stomachs. Unlike many breakfast foods that are high in sugar or refined carbohydrates, Greek yogurt provides concentrated, complete protein early in the day. This timing matters. When protein is consumed in the morning, it signals the body that building and repair are a priority. Hair follicles respond to this signal. They require amino acids not only to produce new strands, but also to maintain the integrity of existing hair. When protein intake is low, hair becomes thin, weak, and prone to breakage. When protein intake improves, hair shafts gain strength and resilience. Greek yogurt is also rich in leucin, an amino acid that plays a key role in tissue repair and cell growth. Leucin activates pathways in the body that promote protein synthesis. This means that the protein you eat is more likely to be used for rebuilding rather than stored or wasted. For hair follicles that have been undernourished, this can make a meaningful difference. Stronger signaling leads to better use of nutrients, and better use of nutrients leads to stronger hair. Beyond protein, Greek yogurt naturally contains biotin, also known as vitamin B7. Biotin is essential for keratin production and is one of the most important nutrients for hair strength and thickness. While many people take biotin supplements, absorption is often inconsistent, especially in older adults. Food-based biotin is typically absorbed more efficiently and used more effectively by the body. Greek yogurt provides biotin in a form that the body recognizes and utilizes naturally. Biotin supports the enzymes involved in fatty acid metabolism, which is crucial for scalp health. A healthy scalp environment allows hair follicles to remain active and productive. When biotin levels are low, hair may become brittle, dry, and more likely to shed. Nails often become weak at the same time. These signs are not cosmetic issues, they are indicators of internal nutrient imbalance. Greek yogurt also supplies other B vitamins that work alongside biotin, including vitamin B5 and vitamin B12. These vitamins support red blood cell production and oxygen delivery to tissues. Hair follicles are highly sensitive to oxygen levels. When oxygen delivery improves, follicles are better able to remain in the growth phase. This helps reduce excessive shedding and supports more consistent regrowth. Another important aspect of Greek yogurt is its calcium content. Calcium is not only important for bones, it also plays a role in cellular communication. Hair follicles rely on calcium signaling to regulate the hair growth cycle. Low calcium levels can disrupt this cycle, causing hair to enter the shedding phase prematurely. When calcium intake improves, follicle signaling becomes more stable and balanced. Vitamin D is closely linked to calcium metabolism. While Greek yogurt may not be a major source of vitamin D on its own, it supports its function. Vitamin D receptors are present in hair follicles, and adequate vitamin D is associated with healthier hair growth patterns. When Greek yogurt is consumed as part of a balanced diet that includes sunlight exposure or vitamin D-rich foods, the combined effect can be significant. One of the reasons Greek yogurt is especially effective after 60 is its simplicity. It does not spike blood sugar like sugary cereals or pastries. Stable blood sugar levels reduce inflammation and protect hair follicles from insulin-related stress. High blood sugar and insulin resistance are strongly linked to hair thinning, particularly around the crown and temples. By choosing a protein-rich, low-sugar breakfast, you create a metabolic environment that favors hair preservation. It is important to emphasize that not all yogurt is the same. Flavored yogurts often contain large amounts of added sugar, artificial flavors, and thickeners. These ingredients can increase inflammation and counteract any benefits. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt provides nourishment without metabolic stress. When combined with healthy fats such as nuts or seeds, its benefits are amplified. Over time, consistent intake of high-quality protein and B vitamins sends a powerful message to the body. It tells the body that resources are available, that repair is possible, and that hair follicles do not need to shut down. Follicles that are weakened but still alive can begin to produce stronger strands. Shedding may decrease, texture may improve, and hair may appear fuller. The key is consistency. Hair does not respond overnight, but it does respond predictably. When the body receives what it needs, day after day, it adjusts its priorities. Greek yogurt becomes more than just a food. It becomes a daily signal of nourishment. For adults over 60, this simple change can support hair strength, resilience, and vitality from the inside out, allowing the body to do what it was designed to do, maintain and repair itself, even with age. One of the most underestimated connections in the human body is the link between the gut and the hair. Many people focus entirely on the scalp when hair loss appears, applying oils, serums, and treatments, yet overlook what is happening internally. After the age of 60, digestive health becomes a major determining factor in how well the body absorbs nutrients and how much inflammation circulates through the system. When the gut is compromised, hair follicles are affected long before symptoms appear elsewhere. As we age, the balance of bacteria in the gut changes. Beneficial bacteria decline, while less helpful strains may increase. This shift is influenced by medications, reduced fiber intake, stress, and years of dietary habits. The result is often chronic low-grade inflammation. This type of inflammation does not cause obvious pain, but it interferes with cellular communication throughout the body. Hair follicles are particularly sensitive to this environment. Inflammatory signals can shorten the growth phase of hair and push follicles prematurely into the shedding phase. Inflammation also affects blood flow. When the body is inflamed, blood vessels become less flexible and circulation becomes less efficient. Reduced circulation means fewer nutrients and less oxygen reach the scalp. Hair follicles, which already operate on a narrow margin, begin to weaken. Over time, this leads to thinner hair, slower growth, and increased shedding. The process is gradual, which is why many people do not associate digestive health with hair loss. Another critical factor is nutrient absorption. Even if someone eats a nutrient-rich diet, a damaged or imbalanced gut may not absorb those nutrients properly. Minerals such as zinc, iron, and magnesium are essential for hair growth, yet they are among the first to be poorly absorbed when gut health declines. B vitamins, which support cell division and energy production in hair follicles, are also affected. Without proper absorption, hair follicles essentially become malnourished despite adequate intake. Probiotics play a key role in restoring balance within the gut. They help replenish beneficial bacteria, improve the integrity of the gut lining, and reduce inflammation. When the gut lining becomes healthier, it allows nutrients to pass into the bloodstream more efficiently while preventing inflammatory substances from leaking into circulation. This concept, often referred to as gut barrier function, has a direct impact on overall health, including hair health. A healthier gut leads to a calmer immune system. The majority of the immune system is located in the gut, and when it is constantly activated due to imbalance, it produces inflammatory chemicals that circulate throughout the body. These chemicals can disrupt the normal hair growth cycle. By calming the gut, probiotics help quiet the immune response, allowing hair follicles to remain in the growth phase longer. Blood sugar regulation is another important piece of this puzzle. Poor gut health is associated with insulin resistance and unstable blood sugar levels. Spikes in blood sugar increase inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which damage hair follicles. A balanced gut microbiome helps regulate glucose metabolism, leading to more stable energy levels and reduced stress on hair-producing cells. The gut also influences hormone metabolism. Certain gut bacteria help regulate hormones by aiding in their breakdown and elimination. When this process is disrupted, hormonal imbalances can occur, which may contribute to hair thinning, particularly in older adults. Supporting gut health helps maintain hormonal balance, reducing unnecessary stress on hair follicles. Stress itself has a profound effect on both the gut and the hair. Chronic stress alters gut bacteria and increases intestinal permeability, which in turn increases inflammation. Hair follicles respond quickly to stress hormones, often by entering a resting phase. Improving gut health can help moderate the stress response by supporting the production of calming neurotransmitters such as serotonin, much of which is produced in the gut. A calmer nervous system supports a healthier hair growth cycle. Probiotic-rich foods, when consumed consistently, can gently restore balance without overwhelming the system. Fermented foods provide beneficial bacteria in a natural form that the body recognizes. Over time, this leads to improved digestion, reduced bloating, better nutrient absorption, and a more stable internal environment. These changes may seem subtle at first, but their effects on hair health are significant. As gut inflammation decreases, the body becomes more efficient at delivering nutrients to where they are needed most. Hair follicles receive better blood flow, more oxygen, and a steady supply of vitamins and minerals. This supports stronger hair shafts and reduces excessive shedding. The scalp environment also improves, becoming less dry and irritated, which further supports hair retention. It is important to understand that hair loss related to gut health does not reverse overnight. The body requires time to heal and rebalance. However, when gut health improves, many people notice reduced shedding within weeks and improved hair texture over time. This is not coincidence. It is the result of a systemic shift toward balance and nourishment. The body functions as an integrated system. The gut, immune system, circulation, and hair follicles are all connected. Supporting gut health through probiotics is not just about digestion. It is about creating an internal environment where hair follicles can thrive. When inflammation is reduced and nutrients are absorbed efficiently, hair loss often slows, and the foundation for healthier hair growth is restored. By focusing on the gut, you address one of the root causes of hair loss rather than just the surface symptoms. This approach aligns with the body's natural design. When the internal environment is calm, nourished, and balanced, the body has the opportunity to repair itself. Hair follicles respond to this balance quietly and steadily, reflecting the health that begins deep within. When it comes to improving hair health after the age of 60, one of the most important concepts to understand is consistency. The body does not respond to nourishment in a dramatic or immediate way. Instead, it responds quietly, gradually, and predictably when it receives the right support day after day. This is why a simple daily habit performed at the right time and combined with supportive lifestyle practices can create meaningful change over time. Hair follicles are not inactive. They are constantly receiving signals from the body. The signals you send each morning help determine whether those follicles stay active or slowly shut down. The morning is a particularly powerful window. After a night of fasting, the body is primed to absorb nutrients. Blood sugar is low, insulin sensitivity is higher, and cells are more receptive to repair signals. When you provide the body with high-quality nourishment early in the day, you influence how resources are allocated for the next several hours. Hair follicles benefit from this early signal because they depend on consistent nutrient delivery to remain in the growth phase. Many people over 60 notice excessive hair shedding without realizing that hair growth follows a cycle. Each hair follicle alternates between a growth phase, a resting phase, and a shedding phase. Stress, inflammation, and nutrient deficiencies shorten the growth phase and extend the shedding phase. Over time, this leads to visible thinning. When daily nutrition improves, the body begins to shift follicles back toward the growth phase. This does not happen all at once, but it does happen reliably. Within the first few weeks of consistent nutritional support, many people notice less hair in the shower drain or on their brush. This is often the earliest sign of improvement. Reduced shedding indicates that follicles are no longer being pushed prematurely into the shedding phase. This change alone can make hair appear fuller even before new growth becomes noticeable. It is a sign that the internal environment is becoming more supportive. As weeks turn into months, hair strands that remain begin to feel stronger. This is because the nutrients provided are not only supporting new growth, but also reinforcing existing hair shafts. Stronger hair is less prone to breakage, which is often mistaken for hair loss. Breakage and shedding are different processes, but both improve when nutrition and circulation are optimized. Scalp health also improves over time. The scalp is skin. And like all skin, it responds to hydration, circulation, and nutrient availability. A healthier scalp is less inflamed, less dry, and better able to anchor hair. Improved blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients more efficiently, while reduced inflammation creates a calmer environment for follicles. These changes may be subtle, but they are essential for long-term hair retention. Daily habits outside of diet amplify these effects. Hydration supports blood volume and circulation, ensuring that nutrients reach the scalp. Gentle scalp massage stimulates blood flow and helps relax tight tissues that may restrict circulation. Even a few minutes a day can make a difference over time. Avoiding tight hairstyles and harsh treatments reduces mechanical stress on hair shafts, allowing them to remain intact longer. Sleep plays a critical role as well. Hair growth is closely linked to hormonal balance, and many growth and repair processes occur during deep sleep. Poor sleep increases stress hormones that can disrupt the hair growth cycle. Consistent sleep patterns support overall hormonal balance, indirectly supporting hair health. This is why improvements in hair often accompany improvements in sleep and energy levels. Sunlight exposure, when done safely, supports vitamin D production, which influences hair follicle activity. Vitamin D receptors are present in hair follicles, and adequate levels are associated with healthier growth patterns. This does not require prolonged sun exposure. Short, regular exposure is often sufficient. Combined with proper nutrition, it helps create a supportive internal environment. It is also important to manage expectations. Hair growth is slow by nature. On average, hair grows about ½ an inch per month. This means visible changes take time. The absence of immediate results does not mean the process is not working. Under the surface, follicles are responding to improved conditions. Patience and consistency are essential. One of the most encouraging aspects of this approach is that it works with the body rather than against it. There is no forcing, no overstimulation, and no artificial manipulation. The body is given what it needs and allowed to respond naturally. For many adults over 60, this is a relief. It shifts the focus from chasing quick fixes to building sustainable habits that support overall health. Over several months, the cumulative effect of daily nourishment and supportive lifestyle practices becomes apparent. Hair may appear thicker, shinier, and more resilient. Shedding may decrease, and the scalp may feel healthier. These changes reflect a deeper shift in the body's priorities. When resources are consistently available, the body no longer needs to conserve by shutting down non-essential functions like hair growth. Perhaps most importantly, this process restores a sense of control. Hair loss can feel disempowering, but understanding that daily choices influence follicle health is empowering. Small, consistent actions add up. The body is remarkably adaptable even later in life. When you support it each day, it responds in kind. The message is simple but powerful. Improvement does not require extremes. It requires regularity, patience, and respect for the body's natural rhythms. By nourishing the body each morning and supporting it throughout the day, you create the conditions necessary for healthier hair over time. The results may be gradual, but they are real, sustainable, and rooted in the body's innate ability to heal and maintain itself.